So I'm still going to do research. I just kind of saw it, and then my daughter was telling me, oh yeah, mommy, that's a thing. From what I've seen, from like the 20 videos that I've watched, it's not only white people, but black people who are tired of people in our own community doing things. The things. You guys know. If you're familiar with my content, you know what I'm talking about when I say the things, right? So I'm not saying that you're wrong. I get that, because somebody else commented it too. I get that you're saying that the term or the phrase was coined by a black woman expressing what black people go through in a systemic society, right? Like the white supremacist society, right? But it has taken it, it's grown its own legs and it's become something else. So I don't care. I'm not saying I don't care what it originated from. I'm coming in on the conversation on what it has grown to be. Sometimes when we start conversations about things that we think we want to talk about, it flourishes into what we need to talk about, okay? And I think we need to talk about this. I think black people suffer from never wanting to be corrected or never wanting to be wrong about anything. Like, black people need to be held accountable. And if you're familiar with my content or anybody else's content, you need to be held accountable. I'm not saying you in particular, but my thing is, if you do not fit in the category of, black fatigue, why I feel like there's always people like you policing comment sections when conversations need to be had. Everything on the internet is like a game of telephone, right? So you're going to misinterpret it and it's going to grow legs of its own. Right now, there's multiple videos talking about black fatigue and referring to the behavior of people in the black community. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that what the conversation is about or not? And if that is the topic of conversation, then I want to elaborate, because I've figured out that well, it's not something that I just said, but I've come to the realization that blackness is a mindset. For instance, yeah, it's a mindset. So anybody can subscribe to black fatigue in the way that I'm using it, because you have white people out here that are blacker than me, okay? Meaning they subscribe to the culture, because the culture is what drives this behavior. That is the link between all black people. So if you listen to the music, if you follow the trends, if you follow the people who are famous, you're going to be influenced by that type of culture. Therefore, you're going to exude certain behaviors that you deem acceptable. The black community culture is a beast, and this is what I keep saying. I literally just left Dollar Tree, and y'all know how they have them like parking lot car shows or car events where the people, race and then they show off their cars or whatever. The city that I moved from, majority of black people did it. But the city that I'm in now is so mixed, white and black. It's basically honey boo-boos everywhere. There's honey boo-boos everywhere. There's interracial relationships everywhere. And those people who are attached to the black community behave sometimes worse. And they're out there being ignorant and loud and doing the things. I literally just seen one white guy just driving around, hanging out his car, playing some music that was just very offensive. He's hanging out the car with the car is glowing. His car is sitting on some really high tires, and he's driving in circles around the Dollar Tree where people are crossing, and he's being ignorant, right? So I get that the phrase derived with a different intent. That's why it doesn't make sense to keep saying the black fatigue. Like, I get it. But now where the conversation has gone, yes, it needs to be talked about, because I think I've seen people refer to it as ghetto fatigue too, as I've been watching it. It is ghetto, and it has no skin color. Yes, predominantly black, because black culture is what is pushing this nonsense, right? But you don't necessarily have to be black to behave this way, right? You just have to be, ignorant. You do. You have to be self-centered. I oftentimes call the community a narcissistic community, but it's when you go out and you act a fool, and I literally just watched a video where that girl, y'all seen it, go research black fatigue just a little bit. I'm saying watch the video. I just seen the video with the girl who was about to walk with her cap and gown, and she snatched the mic and said, I want to talk and I want to whatever, right? And we all thought we knew what we saw, and then they said what really happened. And I keep telling y'all, the black community has so many secrets. You think they're speaking up for righteousness. I literally was just being harassed by somebody who thought it was okay to call me evil and wicked, and I do witchcraft. You know why? Because they're jealous, because they're insecure. But because they know that in black culture, it's predominantly Christian, and black people are spooked by anything that's not Christianity. To defeat me, she called me a witch. She's saying that I'm the devil. And the rest of the people are going to believe it because of culture, because she has a certain look, because she has a certain voice. But it's all ignorant, because you're using your blackness to your advantage to disrespect other people, and you don't want to be held accountable for it. That's what I'm taking it to be. You're behaving badly, and you're hiding behind your blackness, your victimhood, we've been oppressed for so long, so we get to oppress others. This is what I'm understanding it to be. This is what I talk about on my channel. Correct me if I'm wrong. And let me say this. I know that ignorance does not only derive from black culture, but I'm speaking of black culture because we're referring to black fatigue. I know ignorance lies in every community, but I oftentimes say that I think the black community has a serious problem with it. There's no other community that behaves the way we behave in such a what was the word I'm trying to use? Like, it's a lot of us doing this shit, right? Other cultures are grouped up into their groups, and of course you have ignorant people, but it's not culture for them. It's not. We don't tie the ignorance to their skin color culturally, or their, ethnicity culturally. We don't do that. Blackness is a culture dynamic, right? This is what I'm trying to say. Because when I go out, it doesn't matter, and I keep saying this, it doesn't matter if I subscribe to the ignorance. Because I am a black, dark-skinned woman, before I open my mouth, I am treated like I behave the way most of you do until I start speaking. And then even from my own people, when I start speaking and I'm not ignorant, I get treated badly. In order for me to fit in and be comfortable, I need to behave badly. The first question that niggas ask you is, what you do? You drink, you smoke? Let me see what you do to bring yourself down to my level so that I can fuck with you. Assuming that I would want to come down, right? And then I'm not saying that. Here's the thing. When people from other races treat me bad, I'm not going to them like, look, I'm different. Because when people talk about my people, I tell y'all, I love black people for real. I don't just sit there and let it go too long, right? Because I understand there's a reason for it. But we can't keep using the excuse of slavery and of how, we've been treated to keep perpetuating this nonsense behavior. We can't do it. We have to correct it. This is why these conversations make me excited. I didn't know. I'm sitting here online watching other people say, like, excuse my language, but cooning out, because that's what I've been called. For holding my community accountable, I've been called a coon, an Uncle Tom, and all this stuff, because you're not allowed to hold black people accountable. You're just supposed to be like, it's all good, nothing's your fault, you're perfect. And then you wonder why most of y'all behave like fucking narcissists and all the niggas don't take care of their kids. And okay, so you see where it's going. Okay, I just wanted to be clear, because it's like, y'all look at the community dynamic. And then here's the thing. I tell you, I talk about black men on here, and I'm like, why the fuck are y'all doing that? Why are y'all abandoning these women? Why are you not taking care of your children? Why are you making other black men who are taking care of their children look bad? Why are you doing that? You got white women who date them coming here, the same pathology, the same mindset, subscribe to the same culture that I'm not, who is technically, not technically, but blacker than me mentally, who will sit here and Shanna, yeah, I'm calling you out. I blocked her. What's the other old lady? What's the I forget their names, because when I block you, right? Coming in my inbox, you can't talk about them because the patriarchy did it to them. So they're excused. So we can be abandoned and all this other ignorance, and they can be excused because you're their preference. You a nigga too. That's what I see you as, a nigga. Because if you are defending that behavior, you're just like them, and it doesn't matter what the fuck color your skin is. You're just like them. And this is the last thing I'm going to say, but I've always said, and now I've been saying it, well, not on here a lot, but to myself mostly, but anyone who leaves another community, leaves their own community to join the black community, and not only join the black community, like I love black people, but they join the ignorant part of the black community, I don't have any respect for you, because that just shows that you don't care about black people the way I do, and you would come here to, influence black people when you can just hop out of this behavior whenever the fuck you want to. And this is why I tell black people, like, I have a host, when I do a story time about this last job that I left, y'all are going to be like, yeah, I had a whole white woman, and in my face trying to impress black women, and they took her side over me because she was more than me. Okay? And then you say black people need to stick together. In that case, niggas was sticking together, not black people. But yeah, when you come over here to behave badly, I don't have any respect for you, because I'm barely holding onto the respect for my own people. I'm trying to get them to do good. But you think you're going to come over here, and here's the thing. They usually get the respect from black people, because the black people say, what? You invited to the cookout. When they come over here, what's up, this man. I'm not saying all of them was not raised around black people, because you do have some white people who were raised so they really do talk like that. But I can tell when you don't. I can tell when you just got here. And then you come to me. You feel what I'm saying? Acting crazy, or trying to bully me with my own people, or helping them to be more ignorant. No, I don't respect you. I don't respect you. I'm going to ask you, what are you doing? What are you doing? You came over here to lower your standards. Because that's what it is. And black people can keep saying, oh, that's not what it is. It's not what it is. You don't have to just swoop in and start defending shit when you know it's wrong. It's wrong.